Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is the Slight Sarcasm Podcast. I'm Celeste.
I'm Amber.
And welcome back. We've been gone for a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, podcast a month. That's like about normal. I mean, that makes sense.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's doing better than we are.
I feel like for us starting off, this is a pretty good track, I guess. I don't know. It makes sense for now. We'll see what the future holds.
But to be fair, there's obviously been a lot of stuff going on, which is going to be the focus of what we discuss today. So today we're recording. It is Sunday, March 22nd. So obviously a lot of things have been happening in the last couple of months. And we're going to kind of talk about how it's affected us personally and maybe talk about current events and then some future predictions as far as what we think is going to happen with the rest of this stuff. But yeah, I did pull up some stats here if we want to just talk through that real quick.
Yeah, so just to start off, we are talking about the coronavirus COVID-19 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so I think most people call it COVID-19 because it COVID-19. It sounds all trendy and
yeah,
shit,
to appeal to us millennials because,
yeah, exactly.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So I will say, though, we ended last podcast talking about this.
We did.
That was over a month ago.
We recorded that about, when was it, though?
It was like early February.
It was like the week before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because I was in Seattle still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the last time I went up to Seattle. Yeah, it's been a month now, or a month and a half now, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Almost 2 months.
Yeah, we ended. I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, we ended with "wash your fucking hands," and here we are.
I mean, it's the same circumstances are still true. You still need to wash your fucking hands.
Yeah.
Looking at the cases right now, this is just crazy to me because I swear I checked yesterday, and there was about 280,000 cases. I'm checking today, Sunday the 22nd. There's 340,400 cases with 14,573 deaths and about 100,000 people listed as recovered. And this, I'm getting this worldometers.info/coronavirus. WORLDO meters, METERS.info. So they do a really great job of reporting this stuff. They've got graphs, they've got tables that show the breakdown by country, and then if you click through to like the USA, for example, which has 38,750 cases, you can click through and see the change per day. You can see the breakdown by state. Apparently, overnight, we've gotten 14,500 new cases.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Insane. 400 deaths, that's up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to continue to rise, like, exponentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So then the scary thing is when they have a gap where they don't list the change in a day from a country who's like heavily affected or a state, that's scary because the next time they update it, it's usually 2 or 3 times as bad as you would consider it being. And they just can't keep up with these numbers. They're talking about flattening the curve and everything. We're not even close to attempting to stave this off right now.
Oh, no. Not yet. We'll get into, like, why. Like, but yeah, I knew, like, from, like, so I went on a cruise, like, 2 weeks ago now.
And
I went on a cruise. Well, okay. At the time,
she's like, F you to everybody who said she shouldn't have gone.
Well, I don't regret going. Mostly because I know myself and I knew, like, A, I wasn't showing any symptoms. B, I since we recorded that podcast, I've been very diligent about making sure I'm washing my hands.
Yes.
I social distance on a daily basis anyway, like in my regular life. I have hand sanitizer, all that stuff. Also, the news and the media and our godforsaken president wasn't really telling people, like, the truth about what was going on. And so I was just like, well, they're not quite canceling anything. I will be taking safe precautions into doing X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting it to get that bad. That
Of
was
course, nobody was.
no, I wasn't expecting it to get that bad. And will say I was under the presumption of, oh, I'm young, it won't like affect me.
Exactly.
So I did, that was my past, thoughts about it. Now, not so much. But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take every safety precaution that I need to take. I went to Las Vegas. I didn't talk to or interact with too many people because I was only doing one thing in Las Vegas. And then I went to Long Beach because that's where the cruise was coming out of. And I think, yeah, 2 weeks ago, tomorrow, that because that week I feel like was like the everything went from bad to worse.
Yes.
Like that entire week I was on that cruise, and because
Yeah.
like
So like
we don't
it's around the first and second week of March for sure.
yeah, and because when I was like leaving, everything was kind of like and then when I came back, it was like everything needs to shut down. Like my boss had
Yeah.
like texted me and was like, "Hey, so don't come to work." Like I was like, "Oh
She wasn't trying
damn!"
to deal with
Like
you.
yeah, like I was like, "Oh shit!" Like shit just got real, like real fast. And so like yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gone on my cruise. I mean, granted, like I got food poisoning in Mexico,
Oh
God
God.
forbid. So so yeah, but I mean, I still had a good time. They still like Carnival took like I went on a Carnival cruise and like they took every single precaution and they updated us with stuff. Like Carnival was really great about like everything. And I honestly like applaud them to be told honest, even their stock is like in the dumps of hell. But
Finally. Yeah, it was climbing for a little while and I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, but yeah, they did like everything. They even like updated us the like this past week. There was a ship that left the same port as my ship left out of, and someone tested positive for corona on that ship. And so no one has like tested positive for corona on our ship quite yet. So we haven't heard, but they like email people and let them know like, hey, like this is what happened. Like they've been updating people and like so I applaud them for like doing everything in their power to like make sure that that they're taking the right precautions and stuff like that. But
Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, I think they didn't really have a choice because my understanding is Carnival Cruise Lines owns Princess Cruise Lines, which was
the ship that
the height of
was
the attention because the Grand
yeah.
Princess and then I can't remember the other name of the princess the Diamond Princess, the Grand and the Diamond Princess. Those were the two ships most heavily affected. And I believe the Diamond Princess was the one that ended up staying in the Tokyo area and they had about
Mm,
600 cases. And
yeah.
then the Grand Princess was the one that just docked here in Oakland. And
Mm.
it was so surreal. I actually saw them coming in to the Oakland port, from under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So they went in past San Francisco to the north side, went under the Golden Gate, which I'm sure was really surreal, and they had people everywhere, taking photos and stuff. And then they came
Yeah.
through, passed under the Bay Bridge that connects Oakland to San Francisco, and then docked right here, just about a mile and a half from where I work. So it was
Yeah.
really, really surreal seeing that. And I think it took them like a good week or two to get everybody off the ship and processed and tested and stuff like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you call them patrons on the ship. They were just complaining constantly about lack of food, lack of detail. People weren't coming around and checking on them like they should have been. Obviously, nobody's really prepared to deal with this type of stuff, but it was just
Mhm.
like, they were eating like rotted food and, skipping meals and stuff like that. And like they ran
Oh
out of certain
gosh.
things. So they were kind of,
Yeah.
making do with other things. And just a mess. And then even after they got off the ship, they said they were treated people were reporting that they were being treated poorly. So I feel like Carnival was just trying to
Mm.
do everything they could possibly do to keep the people who are
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
already
yeah,
paying them
yeah.
money to be there,
Mhm. Yeah.
happy. So
Yeah. they gave us like $100 of onboard credit for
Yeah,
not
wow.
canceling our cruise. So that was already on top of the
Thanks for not wimping
200.
out. Here's a
Yeah.
coupon.
That was, and then I already had like $250 of onboard credit. So I was like, so what the
Okay.
fuck am I gonna do with like so much money?
I don't
Yeah.
even want to talk about the stuff that you bought because that was ridiculous.
Oh, did we talk about the stuff that I bought?
You told me you bought some
Oh
unnecessary shit
yeah.
that you're not even gonna use.
Okay, first of all, I don't feel like it was unnecessary. And when I die in hopefully 50, 70 years, that I'll remember that I got a necklace and some expensive ass face cream.
I just want to tell everyone listening, I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now. I'm just kidding. You do what you want with your money, girl, but we're going to talk about it later because I'm realizing very quickly that my money is in trouble with this. Like, yeah. Okay, so I guess that's a
All
good
right.
segue to move on. So yeah, that's what you've been up to. You just got back from your cruise and you're kind of
Yeah.
self quarantining yourself.
Self distancing. I have like another week
Okay.
until like
Yeah.
I'm good. But yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
So for us here, and this is something I was going to bring up earlier, we have been under a shelter in place order since last Monday. So it'll be a week tomorrow.
Mm.
Um, so basically, San Francisco and Oakland, and then most of the surrounding areas. At this point now, the whole state. But
Mhm.
initially, early last week, it was just this area. So they basically shut down everything. For those who don't know much about the shelter in place, when they make that order for whatever area it affects, you basically shut down all non-essential business, which includes things like bars, restaurants, like boutique shops, shopping malls, department stores, things like that.
Mhm.
So what's kept open is, in this case, because we're kind of in an urban area, so grocery stores, corner stores that sell groceries, and maybe even like medicine, pharmacies, drugstores, and what else? Wow, I think that might be it. I mean, then obviously doctors' offices,
Gas
hospitals,
stations?
and gas stations. Yes, that's another one. But
Yeah.
I don't even think about that because I see a gas station like once a week here. I just don't even notice them
Yeah.
because there's so little of them. But yeah, so those are open as well, and that's pretty much it. You're not supposed to leave your house unless you're going to one of those places or you're just taking a short walk just to kind of get some air. And even when you do that, you're not supposed to congregate in groups. So, from what we've been seeing this past week, it's just been mostly people in groups of two, maybe groups of three, and then just people, walking their dogs or just maybe carrying groceries from somewhere. But that's been about it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty eerie because I think if it was a normal day, you wouldn't notice those people. But I feel like we went on a long walk a few nights ago, and I think I was just so much more perceptive to just how many people were out and like how people were looking and like feeling what people were talking about as they
Yeah.
passed us. It was really, I wouldn't say alarming. It was just kind of eerie, I
Yeah,
guess.
haunting.
Everybody's talking about the same stuff. If they're not talking about work, they're talking about what's going on with the virus and everything. But
Yeah.
there was always this sort of like on edge sense.
Mhm.
We would walk towards someone and it'd be like, and in this case, like there was an older guy that was coming towards us and he saw us coming down the sidewalk on the same side as him, and he just crossed the street. And I was like,
Mhm.
see, this is interesting because now you can't just talk it up to someone being
Being
racist or
racist.
like, yeah, right. Or just, you can't chalk it up to someone being racist or like, ugh, I don't want to deal with these kids or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
you just can, all you can say is they just don't want to get sick or they don't want to make someone sick, right?
Yeah.
So you're like constantly dodging people, and then when you do cross someone in the sidewalk, you give them this like knowing look, like an acknowledgement sort of thing,
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been weird.
So yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I feel like once the numbers start going up more than they are now, because they're gonna skyrocket in the next couple of weeks. Like
Hmm. Well,
it's
yeah,
just
we've
gonna
already seen
happen.
today there's thousands and thousands of new
Yeah.
cases.
So, and people are gonna start to realize, like, and then things are gonna really start, like, shutting down. Like, people have been losing their jobs,
Yeah.
like unemployment in several states have like shut down. I think in New York,
Wow.
the website just stopped. Like, and even in the 2008 recession, it took months for them to get to these numbers that
Mm-hmm.
they're getting to now within the past week and
Immediately.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
no one was prepared for that, and like, yeah, it's been
It's
completely
crazy.
insane.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I also have noticed that all of Trump's gains as far as like economic status and unemployment rates, all of that shit's been totally wiped out in a matter of 2 months.
Yeah.
Like the stock market is in the trash right now. It's super
Yeah.
super low. They're losing so many points are just being lost every day.
Oh yeah.
I'm the thing that concerns me is obviously retirement accounts for older people who, like, imagine if you're 63 right now and you're about to retire and you're like all about the numbers and you're like, okay, I gotta save this much each month to do this and blah blah blah, and like
Yeah.
all of a sudden years of
No,
your savings are just wiped right now.
yes. Can you imagine 2008
Mm-hmm.
happened to you and you're
Twice.
like, yes. And then
Oh,
you're
maybe even
like,
three times if you count 1987, because they had a similar situation.
oh shit, yeah. Granted, when did 401k start? Because 401ks are
Well,
relatively new. That's like 80s.
okay, yeah.
So,
Well, just, I mean, retirement savings in general, even if you had
well, yeah,
stuff just in a
pensions and stuff
regular
like
bank
that.
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
so let's just say like 2008, you
Hmm.
after 2008 you're like, damn, that happened, that messed me up or whatever. And you're trying to, and you
And you
finally bounce
just
back.
got back. Yes.
Finally bouncing
Right at
back
the
like the
end.
last couple years. In the beginning of the decade, you're down and you're like, okay, it's the end of the decade. I'm coming back up. It's the last year. All right. I'm going to retire this year. Who would have ever guessed? Like, that is
Hmm.
so messed up. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know, like, if it's God, the universe. I don't know what it is, but yo, it's a mess. Like, I don't even know. We were all like so pumped about 2020.
I was just about to say, do you remember our first episode and how
Yeah.
like hyped you were?
Yeah.
I was like decently hyped, but you were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so great. Literally derailed within a month.
Jesus Christ. Like, Kobe died.
Oh god,
What
don't
happened
even.
in February? Like, I don't even think we had like a
Okay, so
great
then
Black
there was
History
that World War
Month.
Three scare
Oh,
that
Jesus.
happened like
Yeah.
immediately. That was what, like the end of the first week of
Yeah.
January.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Kobe died. A terrible, tragic death, and his daughter
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pop
it's
Smoke
just,
died. Everyone was
mm,
that was crazy. Like, February, just poor Harriet Tubman and rolling in her grave because some, who's it,
ugh.
One United Bank in that damn credit card.
What?
Oh, you didn't see? I think it's like a black
Yeah, what
bank,
happened?
like One United Bank. You can look it up. They, for Black History Month, they came out with like this credit card with a picture of Harriet Tubman on the front.
Uh
When
huh.
I tell
I'm
you,
looking up.
Harriet Tubman is rolling in her fucking grave. Have you looked at it?
I'm looking for it right now.
Oh my god. It is
Is
so
it that
bad.
bad?
It is so bad. It's so bad.
Is she defending herself from getting beat by a bat? Like, what is that?
I don't know. Between
Whoa.
just
Oh my god, is it the Wakanda salute?
I think so. Yeah, or something. It's so bad. I forget what their explanation
What
was, but
the
it was not
fuck? Are
good.
you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my lord. Okay. Whoa, no. Why not just have her posing like she always looks like a bad bitch when she's just like literally just standing there
Yeah.
looking
I
hard?
don't I
Why would
don't
you do this? What?
yeah.
Oh my
That
god,
is
I can't. They
2020.
seem so proud about it too. They still left up
Yeah, mhm.
the
Of
advertisers
course.
like, let's celebrate Black History Month.
Of course. Jesus.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, well, that's not good. Oh god.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, this stuff in Iran happened. Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah. I, like, kinda heard about that.
Well, with the like the airline crash, or the plane
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
crash.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
Just, then this virus,
Wow.
just yeah, we're living in weird times, man. I think it's also very profound for us as like millennials because this is the first thing that's happened in our adult life that we're
This
going to
yeah,
be
this
able
is
to like
a
really
well,
remember
but you have to remember we're on the edge of Gen Z and millennial. Like we're good by apparently by
by
the
like a
standards that are
year.
set. Yeah, by the standards that are set, we're good by literally a year. Because apparently, if you're born in 1995, you're a Gen Z, and I would be so crushed
Yeah.
if I was born in that. But I'm sure there's older millennials who are like 30 and 40 who
Mhm.
are like, oh my god, fuck these kids.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, like
But
in their
still, you have
40s.
to remember that there's like a lot of there's people who have a good 10 or 20 years on us,
Mhm.
and they went through stuff like the HIV/AIDS crisis,
Yeah. They
and
went through the
9/11.
recession.
They went through 9/11 when they were old enough to understand the
Mhm.
weight of that. They went
Yeah.
through, you know, the wars in the early 90s, and
Mhm.
fall of communism, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true too.
It's just it's a lot. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's for us in this age group of like early mid 20s, late
Mhm.
20s, this is definitely the first one of the first major things that directly affects us as
Mhm.
people, as adults,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because we'd say, like 9/11 and some of the other stuff that directly affected our parents.
Well,
And it was
yeah,
trickled down to us because we were,
of just the
just
weight.
there.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. But I was 7 when that happened. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I was 7. But I mean,
yeah.
honestly, 9/11 is part of the reason why my parents moved to Virginia. So,
Mm, mm.
but
Yeah, see, but it's like a trickle down because it wasn't.
yeah.
It's not like it. I'm not saying that you
Yeah,
had
no,
a
I
say in
agree.
it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it's not like it was your decision. Your parents wanted
Mhm.
to leave for particular reasons, so you were
Mhm.
like the product of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense, yeah. But yeah. Uh
So, well, I guess we'll talk about future predictions later. I just want to see what you think about 2021, or even if we get through the rest of this year at this point. Shit.
God, I don't even know. Like I hope for something better than I'm like, can you know what? It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
So like maybe next year would just be worse before it gets better. Like I don't know. Like
Man.
but I mean I hope for something better obviously. Like I hope for like I hope that like things get better. I don't know like what this means for like the future or anything like that. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm always going to hope for something better.
Yeah, of
And
course, of
but
course.
yeah,
That's a good way to
like
look at it.
yeah, so yeah, what do you think?
Um, I I honestly, as far as like this, shelter in place, stay at home, closing restaurants, bars, and all that stuff, I don't see that ending until towards the end of summer. That's just
Same. I'm
my
thinking
my opinion. But and that's because we still have all these states that still have no plans in effect. They're just like, wash your hands, and we're this far into
mhm.
things, right?
Mhm.
And so you have like states like Florida and a lot of the southern states who just aren't, they're not seeing the numbers, so they're thinking they're not affected. But they're also not
Yeah.
doing the testing because they're not seeing the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So they're not being proactive at all. They're gonna wait another few weeks until things
Mhm.
get bad down there and then start shutting stuff down. I'm not just talking about southern states in particular, there's other states.
Yeah.
When they finally shut down, that could be a month from now before we get everyone who needs to shut stuff off, right? I've
Yeah.
heard El Salvador actually, they already went ahead and shut everything down. Like they did the same thing for the whole country, and they don't
Yeah.
even have any cases yet. Same with Nepal. Nepal just shut everything down. They have 0 cases reported.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
it's like
being proactive, yeah.
right. So you have countries and areas doing things right, and then you have the US who is very reactive right now.
Mhm.
You know, Um, so that's going to take a while, right? Then you've got to wait for all the testing and everything to catch up. We got to get a, a pretty precise number of just what we're dealing with, which I'm assuming is going to be in the hundreds of thousands
Yep.
before this is over. And
Mhm.
but the governor just said something that like really fucked people up in California. And he was like, if we weren't to take any preventative measures or any protective measures, we could have 2.5 million people in the state of California affected.
Yeah.
But his stuff was taken out of context, so the headline just said, "We'll have half the state
Oh, Jesus
sick,"
Christ.
you know. But then you have to
Yeah.
read more, and it says, if we
Yeah.
didn't do anything, but we are,
Mhm.
blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
it's, but still, you can only curb that so much by being reactive anyway, because we are reactive. So there's all this stuff that's got to catch up now, where we only, I don't know how many cases we have right now. I'll take a look, but it, okay, we have 1,550 cases. It's growing by like 100 to 200 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's so many people. I mean, there's so many people. Like my boss said, he couldn't get a test for his
Yeah,
son
there's
for
so
whatever
many.
reason.
Yeah. I think we need to take a point to like kind of talk about that kind of
Yes.
stuff for a few minutes, because like the reason why we are social distancing and like telling people to self quarantine and to disinfect and to clean is because we don't want to keep spreading this. Like,
Oh yeah.
because yes, as younger people, it won't affect us a ton, but we're still getting hospitalized. For the people who do catch this, younger
Hmm.
people are getting hospitalized just as much as the older people. Yes, we may
And now
not
I'm
die,
right,
but we can have organ failure, which can shorten our lifespan exponentially. We can have harder lives.
and I'm
So,
seeing I'm seeing more and more cases of younger people in their 30s and 40s passing away from
yeah,
this. So
exactly. So there's that, but also, yeah, self quarantine and all that stuff is extremely important because you don't want to spread it. You don't know who you're catching it from.
you don't even know if
And
you have it, because a lot of
yeah,
people aren't showing symptoms
yeah,
and they're
you can
passing it
have
on.
it. Yeah, you can have
Exactly.
it and not show symptoms and pass it on to people. That is the
Exactly.
exact reason why I was like, for 14 days, they told me that I need to, CDC said that for, if you could, after you're off of a cruise ship, 14 days, you need to self quarantine. I'm
I think
like
that's the
8
scariest
days
part of it
in.
too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
8 days in, and like even though I'm not showing any symptoms yet or anything like that, but I could still have it.
Right.
So there is also that. And also, our healthcare system is not up to par. It is not up to standard. Like, and a
It's
lot of
truly
this is,
laughable.
it is, and that's the reason why exponentially things are getting worse, because people don't have access to tests and people don't have access to testing and stuff like that. And it's also showing the disparities between the rich and the poor
Yeah.
drastically.
So one thing I'll say about that is I don't think it has anything to do with the quality of care. I think quality of care in the
Yeah.
US obviously is one of the best, that people come from all over the world to get medical care and to get top tier medical care. So it's not the quality of the doctors and the nurses and the other staff
Mhm.
members, right? It's the availability.
It's
You
the
Not
access.
everyone
Yeah.
can afford to have at least a decent quality. You have a lot. You
Yeah.
have, let's see, I don't know. Bernie's been using a number I can't remember off the top of my head. 84 million, something like that. Over 80 million people currently uninsured. That number is growing daily because there's more people getting let go from their jobs, which is, it's fucking
Unemployment.
ridiculous
Yeah.
to have your healthcare be tied directly to you
To
being
your, yep.
employed, and
Mhm.
and being employed by someone who can even offer you healthcare.
Healthcare.
Because if you're
Yeah.
just stocking books in a small
Mhm.
bookstore, that bookstore might not be able to offer you healthcare.
Healthcare.
So it's like you
Yeah.
could be working and still not even be covered, right?
Mhm.
So there's that, and all this other crap, and then you kind of have this, like you said, the wealthy versus the poor. So you have the wealthy people who can just buy healthcare outright, even if they're not working or whatever. If they have the money,
Yeah.
they can buy it and they can afford to pay the monthly premium just to be
Yeah.
insured as an independent, and they're good. But then you have the poor people who maybe just lost their jobs, or not even poor people, middle class people who are
Yeah.
losing their jobs, who are, maybe their spouse works but they don't get
Mhm.
coverage. Like, and in my case with Jonas and I, like, I had to really fight. We had to file as a domestic partnership so that I could get him health care, because they weren't going to offer him any sort of plan unless we were qualified by this and recognized by the state of California as a domestic partnership. So,
Wow.
you could be with someone. Like, I had a coworker who was with this man. She had been with this man for 10 years, never married, but they had to have separate plans because they couldn't file as domestic partnership in Illinois.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't get the same health care and the same,
Yeah.
and so it was dependent on their jobs, separately,
Mhm.
right? So you
Yeah.
have all these different factors playing in, and then you have someone like Joe Biden who's just like, yeah, it works. We're gonna keep it this way, or
Like,
you
it
have
doesn't
someone,
work.
yeah, or you have someone like on the right side of things who's just like, it should be, there a lot of people are like proponents for, like, it should be directly related to how much money you make or the kind of job you have, or et cetera, et cetera. And, like, basically, like, you got to work for what you get.
Why should I
So,
have to work for
but
healthcare? Because I didn't ask to
but
be
it's not even
born.
about that, though. You should
Like,
just be able to live and exist as a human without having to worry about, if you break your fucking ankle playing with your
yeah.
kids, are you going to be able to get it repaired, and
Mhm.
or are you going
Yeah.
to come out of the hospital with a $15,000 bill?
Exactly. Yeah. No, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Like, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Hmm.
It's a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
It's and like people who are able to get tests and people who aren't able to get tests. People who don't have any symptoms or anything like that, but are able to get tested because they have the money and the access, and people who are showing symptoms and are going through the proper channels and researching and doing all of this stuff and cannot get tested because there aren't enough tests to go around
Exactly.
because we weren't proactive about this.
It doesn't, they don't care. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I just heard Italy shipped us, like, a crap ton of these tests from directly from Italy to the US. I'm like, well, what is Italy doing then?
Yeah.
Right?
Italy,
'Cause how
it's
how are they in
now
a position where they can afford to send all these tests to
I think
us,
Italy is
but
just
they're
like,
still,
fuck
yeah.
it. Like, they're just like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
we're done. We're just not
Yeah.
gonna be a country no more. Like,
Man, it's fucking
God.
depressing looking at that
It's,
stuff. I feel
yeah.
really bad. And I mean, obviously they have one of the oldest populations, like, next to Japan. They have one of the oldest
Yeah.
populations, and their people are just getting, like, decimated right now. And now the
Yeah.
doctors are getting ill and passing away. And that's, I heard, like 8% of their Italy's medical workforce is infected.
Damn. Yeah.
So, uh, it's just, I mean, see, that's the other thing too. I keep saying, like, I heard. There's so many figures and so many numbers being thrown out. It's hard to keep
Yeah.
track of what's
Mhm.
accurate and what's still the case for certain
Mhm.
things. But it's just ridiculous. And now I read this thing that it showed a table comparison of, like, um new cases for two countries, and it was Italy and the UK, and they basically matched up from the day-to-day
Wow.
thing. And so people were saying the UK is basically on a very similar trajectory to how Italy is currently.
Yeah.
And that's fucking scary, right?
Yeah, I follow like a few people who live in the UK, and it sounds like they're even later than us.
Mm. Mm.
Like, things are just starting to like
Yes.
shut down
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it sounds like I feel like the US and like the UK is going to be on the same trajectory as Italy, and China's kind of like at the tail end, which makes sense cuz they were like shutting shit down from like
Yeah.
almost the jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I saw Australia close off their borders, which I don't blame them.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, because they're one of the most isolated countries and,
yeah.
continents in the world.
Yeah.
If they needed help next day, it would still take 2 days for them to get what
Yeah,
they
that's
needed.
true. Yeah. I think their
It's
closest friend
scary.
is like New Zealand, yeah.
Well,
So,
Yeah, New Zealand, and then, like, Southeast Asian countries for sure,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
still.
So, yeah, for real. Yeah. So, shout out to Black Twitter for thinking that we weren't gonna get the
Oh,
coronavirus.
that's what I was gonna bring up. That's what I was gonna bring up. Because when fucking dumb man.
I was
I
like, you know
You
what?
know
I
what? It
believed it for
cracked
a
me.
little bit.
No, that shit cracked me up because I was like, y'all people, they're like, we gotta have some leg up other than athleticism.
They were like, we
Look
had
at immunity.
slavery. And I was
And then
like,
and then of all fucking people, Idris Elba gets sick. And
oh,
we're like, oh fuck.
Jesus Christ, yes. I was like, maybe it's the blacks over there.
Oh my
But
god.
no. Oh God,
No.
that was
Let's
funny.
just say no,
But
it's not the
yeah,
case. Shout out
no.
to Black Twitter.
I
Oh my god. It
mean,
yeah. To be
it was
on a
funny
lighter
for
note,
like
I
a
guess,
day.
to continue this, at least the memes are good.
Yeah. God, we're such millennials.
I've been cracking up at these quarantine memes, you know.
For
It's
real,
just
like
yeah.
yeah, like there was the
I
TikTok one. It was like your quarantine day 19 when you learn all the TikTok dances or whatever. I was like, "Oh my god."
yeah, I was cracking up with this one. I sent this to my mom. I should have sent it to you. I might have. I don't know. But
I
it
don't think
says
so.
January 1st. This is my year. March 20th. Me wiping my ass with a coffee filter.
Oh.
I mean,
That
but it's so
sucks.
true. I texted that to my mom. She goes, "Oh my god, no!" And like a bunch of sad face. I'm like, "No, I'm not literally doing that. I
Aw.
mean, it could be there." She's like, "It
It's
could be you." It's like I
it
know.
could be. We'll
Yeah.
see each other in a month.
Oh man,
Oh
dude, she's
god.
the best. She called me a few days ago. She was like, "I'm in the store. They have rice here. I'm getting you some rice." I'm like, "What?" So she's
Aw,
trying to
that's so
she's trying to
sweet.
she's trying to U.S. Postal Service ship me
Oh,
some
Jesus.
fucking
Tell
rice.
her to use DHL, fucking
It
postal
doesn't matter. I
service.
just like the thought of her. Like she was like so excited to call me and tell me they had some rice.
Oh, that's
Cause
so
I'm like,
sweet.
dude, that is the one thing I'm missing so bad.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we've
you're
been
telling
rationing the
me.
right. Like now is at the point where I'm like,
Yo, I will
it's
send
not
you
that
some rice
bad, but
too. Imma send you
no,
some
you
rice.
don't have to do all that.
Imma send
But
you some rice.
but it's like it's just like of all things. That was the
You
first
should have
thing to
went to like
go.
the Asian market.
I trust me, I did. I went to all the stores in the
Oh
vicinity, like in a
shit.
2 mile radius of here,
Damn.
which is probably like 7 or 8 different stores.
Imma send you some rice.
Thanks. Don't do that though. I'm good. It's actually better that I don't have so much rice because I should be eating lower carb. And like Jonas has been trying to get me to pay more attention to the stuff I'm eating, especially while we have limited resources. So
I
I'm trying to
mean,
do
that's
better
why
with
I'm
that
gonna
stuff.
send you the rice so it's
No,
unlimited. But
no,
it's okay.
rice is bad. I eat so much rice.
Rice is not bad
And
for
then I wonder
you.
why I'm not losing any weight because it's like a cajillion carbs every bowl.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Um,
pandemic.
yeah, it is a bad. I
You're
mean,
supposed
if
to be
you
worried
wanna,
about weight. You're supposed to be surviving.
but I have plenty. If I need to go into hibernation, I'm good. But I'm just saying, I do kind of want to come out of this like being able to wear high waisted jeans and not look like the Michelin Man with all these rolls.
I
You know,
mean, or
she's
you
not buying it.
just yeah, I'm not. But
Oh
yeah.
man, dude, I'm so mad though. Like I was like, I was like developing my plan to get my vacation body because we were gonna go to Japan in May, and now we can't go. Like I need to
Um
still like keep up that mindset because I was doing well for a little bit, but then this like totally derailed my thought process.
yeah, I think like that's a pretty good segue talking about like just being in I guess social distancing slash self quarantining
Yeah, the
and
stuff that you're working on right now.
anxiety and depression and just like
Yeah,
I yeah, I have like such cabin fever. Like
me too.
it's been hard. It also made me realize that I'm actually not that much of an introvert as I think I am
Hmm.
because I or maybe like I've changed.
I think you probably value the option of having the like, when you're feeling up to it, being able to go
Y
and socialize or go out and do
yeah.
stuff, but now you don't have a choice, so you're like, "Fuck, what do
Mhm.
I do all day?" Like, you
Yeah,
can only
exactly.
like, you can call people all day, but it's not the same as getting that one-on-one or, like, face-to-face
Yeah.
social interaction.
Yeah, so it's definitely been difficult, like, working from home
Mhm.
because, like, I do have a pet that sleeps during the day, and so this is, like, first world problems, but she sleeps during the day, and if she doesn't sleep, she's a total bitch. So
How do you know if a bunny is, like, a total bitch?
because she's, like, running all over the place and shaking the pen and not being quiet at night, and I'm
Oh,
like
okay.
yesterday, she was just, like, shaking the pen all kinds of crazy, and I was like, "Okay, oh my god." And I was like, "What is wrong with you?" Thumping all over the place because the dogs are barking, like, it's just a lot. And so yeah, but she needs to sleep. And
Yeah,
so she's in the living room, my desk is in the living room because it's not in my bedroom, obviously,
yeah.
and I have to have the light on to see, and the light bothers her and sleeping and stuff like that. So I, like, move so I have, like, this makeshift desk that I'm actually, like, recording on in
Mhm.
my, like, room, which has been nice because the windows in my room.
Yeah, the lighting is good.
Yeah, so that's really nice, but I can't always work in my bedroom.
Right.
So I'm in trying to like, which leads me into like, I'm trying to like keep a schedule of like doing things like while I'm like working from home. So like, I made this like little like chart thing on my iPad, and
Mhm.
like they're like, okay, things I'm gonna do in the morning. It's like really basic, really dumb shit, but like it's things to keep me on track. Like I washed my face, I brushed my teeth, I ate
Oh, yeah.
breakfast, I
Yeah,
took a
yeah.
shower, I logged in for work. Those are like the five things I have to do in the morning.
Mhm.
And then in the
Yeah.
afternoon, then I have like my afternoons like task, which is like eat lunch, drink water. Um, I think the other one is like do yoga. I was being
Yeah,
a
like
bit
get up,
aspirational
stretch,
on
or
that.
something like that,
Yeah.
right.
Um, and something else. I don't remember. I have my iPad right here. And then like in the evening, so that's like after I log out of work. What do I do? Like, I eat dinner, I drink more water, I do something fun, I do like bedtime yoga, I shower, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, like, and get into like the bedtime routine and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And those are things that like, and then I have like a grid and I just shade it, like I color things in when I like do them. And if I don't do them, that's always fine. It's okay, it's at the end of the world, but it's something that'll like keep me looking forward to like doing something,
Yeah.
because when you're in your own space 24/7, it's you have to break it up, and it's like kind of hard to do that. And then I was watching Best Dress
Oh,
on
oh my
YouTube. I
gosh,
love her.
love
She's
her.
so cute.
I didn't see her newest video about the tips for social
Yes, so I
distancing,
was
but
watching
I
that
saw
latest
she
video
yeah,
about like working from home. Ugh, I love that she moved to New York. It's anyway,
I know.
but
Yeah, it's a good place for her.
yeah, but she was like she did a video all about like working from home and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
one
tips for
thing,
working from home.
yeah, everything that like I kind of already like talked about, she like taught mentioned in the
Yep.
video. One thing that I did today actually, because I watched her video, was like actually like getting dressed. And
Yes, yeah.
like because I this past week I've just been like working in my house clothes,
I've been
like
slumming it.
big
No bra,
t-shirt, no
like old dirty
bra,
shirt. Yep.
like like shorts, sometimes
Yep.
not even shorts, and just like, just like doing work. And
Mhm.
so but she was like, dress up as if you were like to go out into the world. So like I was like, that makes sense. So today, like I didn't put a real bra on, I put on like a soft cup bra, whatever. And then I put on like, this t-shirt, and like I'm wearing like my favorite pair of like jeans. They're like have holes upon holes in them. I love them. And they're like super comfortable. And actually initially I was wearing like overalls, but I took them
Oh,
off and put
cute.
on my jeans. But yeah, it was like just wearing something that I love to wear that's comfortable. And then like I had to do some overtime work today. So, and I did that and I like kind of like put, I cleared off my desk and made sure that the only things that need to
Mm-hmm.
be on my desk was like the things that need
Yeah,
to be
getting
on my
rid of the
desk.
distractions.
Yeah, getting rid of like all sorts of like extra stuff and like just like doing those kinds of things because like working from home can get a little convoluted because you're in your
Mm-hmm.
own space and like
Oh yeah.
don't, that video was great. You guys should like totally check it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
that has been like super super helpful and smoking a lot of CBD has been great.
We just lost 5 listeners. They're like, ugh, drugs.
CBD is legal
CBD
in
is
all 50
legal,
states.
especially in Virginia, which is not
Yeah.
has in the past has not been a state that's been very kind to
Yeah,
drugs and alternative medicine.
that's true. But CBD is legal federally, so
Mm-hmm.
they can't stop you for smoking CBD. Just make sure it's just strictly CBD and not the CBD with like
With
THC.
THC, right?
Because then that's where you get in trouble. Even though it's usually less than the legal limit, but whatever.
You could still
So
get like false positives or something on the
yes.
test.
So yeah. So just all for all of it. I get drug tested, so I understand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. But
Another to go back to what you were saying about the YouTube channel Best Dressed. There's another channel I actually right before I called you while I was eating, I was watching this video. And or like while I was cooking, I was listening to this video. But there's this guy, he has a channel called Huga, but it's like the Swedish is it Swedish or Danish? I gotta look this up before I sound stupid. Hold on. Okay, so it's Danish and Norwegian. See, I was about to sound stupid. Okay, so his channel name is called Huga, which is spelled Hueguh.
okay.
Right? And
I thought she was looking at it.
I'm looking it up. I looked up the other version. Whatever. Okay. It's Hueguh, and that's how you pronounce the Danish and Norwegian term, which is Hygge. And what it basically means is like fun. It's like a an all-inclusive word, but it's like a general mood of like coziness, fun, security, like that sort of like a homeliness, when you're in like your favorite spot on your couch and like you just ate some great food and you've got like your favorite show on, the lighting is nice, like all that stuff is like considered Huga. And so a lot of Scandinavian people are like a lot of the Scandinavian culture is kind of revolves around that. Like even in like restaurants and bars and stuff, they try to use like warm lights and low settings and
that's pretty cool.
stuff like that, just to kind of convey that overall feeling of like coziness. So anyways, his whole channel is devoted to that, but as well as like minimalism. And I really like his stuff. He lives in the Bay Area somewhere. So I kind of try to see how him and his partner deal with things in the Bay Area and whatever. But yeah, so he had a video he posted maybe a day or two ago about social distancing and how they're combating it. And basically it was the same sort of stuff. It was like the important thing is like you stick to your routine. If you usually before you went to work, you got up, you took a shower, you brushed your teeth, you ate breakfast, you got dressed and went to work, like you should still try to keep as much of that as possible because it just gets you in the right mindset to just knock that shit out. And that's something I have not been doing because I will roll out of bed. My workday starts at 8. I will roll out of bed at like 8:01 and then start my routine. I'll like, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Like while I'm logging in so I'm not looking late and all this stuff. And then I'm just distracted all day because all I'm thinking about is like, I didn't sleep well. I had this thing I didn't finish yesterday that I gotta finish, or I'm wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday, so I feel gross, but I don't want to go and take a shower right now because I'm working on this and trying to get through. It's just kind of throws your whole schedule off. So
I think
it was that. Yeah.
I think also extending yourself grace within these first couple of weeks on like it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
From Yeah, from, like, going to working in an office to, like, working from home. Because like, honestly, for a lot of us, we were just thrown into, like, "Okay, you gotta work from home now." It's like, "Oh,
Yes.
oh, okay."
Yeah.
So, like,
You
I
know,
think yeah.
it's interesting because I was just thinking that I was because Jonas is working from home for the first time pretty much ever. Most of the jobs he's had in the past have been, you have to be on site because it's like, laborious and like you have to
Mhm.
do stuff. It's not all behind a computer. But
Mhm.
this new position that he has is mostly digital.
Mhm.
So, but he's still been going to the office every day. So this is the first time he's been able to stay home and do his work from home. And it's
Mhm.
just been really really interesting seeing how he's adjusted to it because I feel like um I, I'm just like, oh, bless him. He's like so proper about everything. Like he like
Mhm.
sits at the desk all day or like sits at the, the countertop and he like
Yeah.
works all day. And he'll like
Wow.
take a very, like minute to the minute almost like lunch break or whatever. And
Mhm.
like, even if I'm like coming in and out to talk to him or whatever, like he's still working. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, he's so innocent. Like just give it a week or two. But now that we're talking about this, I don't want him to lose that focus like I
Yeah.
have months ago where I just do whatever I need to do to get done with the day. Like
Yeah.
I have some new stuff I need to work on for my job. So it's I'm really needing to, I guess, get back into like giving a shit about working from home
Mhm.
because it is a luxury and we have to remember that
Yeah.
not everybody, obviously with these millions of people losing their jobs, not everybody has this
Yeah.
luxury, if you
Mhm.
will, of being able to still have their same income and do it from work
Yeah.
or do it from
From
home,
home, yeah.
and it's like making more and more sense because I think this was Friday when we went for this walk, but I saw this lady teaching her kid how to ride a bike, and it was like maybe like 6 p.m. And I
Yeah.
was just thinking like, maybe this is one of those situations where this lady normally doesn't have time during the day to
Mhm.
spend with her kids, but now she's home so she
Yeah.
can do stuff like teach her kid how to ride a bike on a Friday
Yeah.
evening,
Mhm.
or like it's really been putting a lot of stuff into perspective, but I think the main
Yeah.
thing is like we have to just remember that we have it good right now for us
Mhm.
personally, like in this
Yeah.
situation where everything is business as usual just from home.
Yeah.
Like we can still afford our groceries, we can still pay our bills. I'm not worried about
Yeah.
paying rent. Eh,
Yeah.
but there's so many people like your neighbors could be in a totally opposite position, right?
I was thinking about this. I was like, if this was 2 years ago, I would be in that position of I probably
Absolutely.
would have lost my job.
Yeah, I probably would have taken my
Or
last couple $100s and flown home and just stayed with my parents.
yeah, I probably would have been like, well, I guess I'm gonna stay with my parents or I'm
Yeah,
gonna be asking them for rent money
right.
or something
And
like
then just
that.
racking that up and being like,
Yeah.
now I owe you 6 grand after all
Y-
this is done.
Yeah. And like, yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, I am fortunate in like, thinking about I guess we haven't really talked about like money wise quite yet. It's been like an hour. But like just like I was thinking about that too. I literally like recognizing like the privilege I have
Yeah,
like right now it's been amazing because I literally this week just got a bonus check
awesome.
from like the
Congrats.
fourth quarter thanks from our fourth quarter like profits. So like and now I'm looking at that money like so yeah, you gonna stay right there?
Yeah, you
Cause
better put
like
that shit in your e-fund.
yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen, like, or anything like that. I'm definitely at a position because I had to I had funded my yeah, I had actually funded my e-fund like before my trip. Because I was like,
Okay.
there's two things I'm going to do. I'm gonna pay off my credit card and fund my e-fund because I don't know what's gonna happen. Which low key shout out to JetBlue because they canceled my flight and I had to book an emergency ticket.
Yeah.
the day I came back from the cruise. So, yeah, that wasn't fun. But yeah, but like that's fully funded again, and like my credit card's about to be paid off again, and I was just like, I can work from home. I'm able to, as a technically,
You're
if
comfortable. You don't
yeah,
have a
I'm
home
comfortable.
with 5 kids and 2
Yeah, like
bedrooms and
yeah.
yeah.
So there's all of that. If we work this entire month, there's paychecks in this month. Like, so I totally recognize the privilege that I have in all of this, and I don't take that for granted, and I don't take that lightly, because there are so many people who are not in that position, and
Yeah.
it 100%, it's crushing. It's so crushing to me. Like, I have friends who, if the state of Virginia shuts down, they are
Mhm.
not getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
They are going to lose their job. And it's extremely crushing to me. And I have empathy for all of those people, because all of us could be those people,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't take that privilege lightly. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have the flip side of that too, which is just as devastating, where you have these people who have to work and go out and work no matter what with all this stuff going on. So like my closest friend, she is a social worker, and they still need her there. She's a case manager. She still has
Yeah.
to work 6 days a week almost. And she just got her license, poor thing. She just got her license because she's been living in Europe, so she really hasn't needed
Mhm.
a car or anything. She just got her license, so she's still not too comfortable with driving, so she
Mhm.
has to take the metro every day.
Yeah.
And it's all this stuff is like, it stresses her the fuck out, and she calls me all the time, like in tears, because she's just so stressed about this. She's like, I can't
Yeah.
quit my job because I have no income. Who's gonna hire me right now with all this shit
Mhm.
going on? And then she's told me her boss quit, like gave him a
Oh
week's
god.
notice. She's quitting indefinitely because of some medical issues. And hopefully nothing serious, like too serious for her, of course, but
Yeah.
just they kind of, they're shit out of luck now, so now they have to take on even more because their supervisor is leaving. And she's like, I feel guilty if I leave. I can't leave all these cases
Mhm.
unresolved, blah blah blah, this stuff. And so you have people on the flip side of things who have no choice but to go out. Yes, they
Yeah.
have income still, but it's sad they have even more of a risk because they get sick tomorrow
Yeah.
and then suddenly not have that income, right?
Yeah. Like, shout out to people who are working in the healthcare industry. Shout out to the
Yeah,
people who
exactly.
are still working at big
Grocery
box grocery
stores, and yeah,
stores, and
exactly.
like all those
Pharmacies,
places
all
that
that.
are staying open. I have two friends who work for Target. One is like working in the store, and I think one works like warehouse. And like Target was pretty much like, so unless you're actually sick, you still got to come into work.
Hmm.
Like, and that's just that we
Yeah.
have to stay open, which I get, because Target has like pharmacies and stuff like that, and they have groceries and stuff like that. I totally get that, but I mean, I feel like y'all don't need like 100% of your workers to work.
The thing that's pissing me off about that, though, is that I just heard of the term hazard pay earlier this week, and I just heard that not everyone is getting paid hazard pay. It just depends on the company if
Yeah.
they're doing that.
Yep.
So, like, finally, I think Amazon, the warehouse workers, are finally getting paid, like, maybe a couple extra dollars an hour and hazard pay, so like an additional
Well, that's good. Yeah.
amount. But you've got fast food workers, you've got the
Yeah.
restaurant workers who are still working. Because a lot of places, like especially in California and these shelter-in-place states, they're still operating, but they're only doing takeout or delivery. So they're
Same
still they're
here.
still churning out food, and they're still churning
Mhm.
out service.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
It
just a
is a
mess.
hazard for them to work. These
It's a
aren't
hazard
safe conditions.
because you're
Yeah.
still you're still having to travel to get there. Especially if
Yeah.
you use public transportation. Luckily,
Yeah.
the trains and buses are still running, because then if they expected you to come to work, but you also couldn't take the BART or the train or
Mhm.
the bus, and you didn't have a car and you couldn't ride a bike because it's 4 or 5 miles and you
Yeah,
just can't do
ride
that, right?
share,
Like,
you probably can't afford.
yeah, or a
Yeah.
Lyft costs $20 each way, right?
Yeah.
Forget it. It's impossible. But
Yeah.
then, you got these people jumping through all these hurdles, doing this stuff, getting on the train, exposing themselves even more, and then
For
dealing directly with customers still.
7.25 an
Right.
hour.
Right, to get paid minimum wage, right. Luckily here it's a bit more. I think it's closer to like $14 or $15 an hour, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, you've got states like Virginia where stuff is not cheap anyway, but you're still getting
Mm-mm.
paid minimum wage for the 7.25, 7.50
Yeah, and public transportation is
for all that.
trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it's heartbreaking. Like it's extremely heartbreaking. Like I definitely know. I'm trying to help local restaurants and local places as much as I possibly can by
Mhm.
buying things. Like there are a few of like my favorite places that like they're like, hey, like if you want to buy a gift card or something like that,
Yeah.
like one of my favorite food place of all time, they're doing like a little membership thing, and it's
Mhm.
like $40 and you get like a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I don't even care really. Like I'm gonna just buy the membership just because
Yeah.
y'all still trying to pay people, and I want to support that, so I need to do that. My nail place, they're like, hey, if you guys can buy some like gift cards so we can keep paying people. I love every single person in that nail salon. I'm gonna buy a gift card from them and to help out and stuff like that, because like I'm in a position where I can help, and I've had people help me when I was in those kinds of
Absolutely.
positions, and I want to give back to that because it's extremely important, and because the people who need to be doing stuff are not doing it,
Mhm.
or they have to fight with someone who doesn't want to do anything. So, I'm going to do everything in my possible power to do that. And you know what? I understand not everyone wants to do that and not everyone can do that. And you know what? That's your life and that's totally fine, but that's what I'm going to do. And that's what, so yeah.
Yeah, I respect that, but I think at the same time you also just need to really be cognizant about your own situation, right?
Oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
because while we have it good right now, we're saying, everything is business as usual. That could
That could
change
change.
in a
Yeah.
week or less,
Yeah.
right? So, while I appreciate you supporting local businesses and putting your money there when you can, you still have to take care of yourself first.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
go like roll out like I'm not rich.
No, I know that. I know that, but
Yeah, like
you know,
but yeah, I'm still cognizant of like I still have to live, like,
yeah.
and low key I'm not the only mouth that I have to feed. So
Mhm. Your
yeah.
rabbits just
Yeah. Like
burning up
legit
your income.
I mean, no. Yeah, but like legitimately like I have to buy like her food,
Yeah.
and which is veggies, which produces can become hard to find, and
Yes.
then like hay, which I have to order. And
Mhm.
I ordered from Chewy. I ordered that like Friday. Chewy sent me an email like right after I ordered, was like it's
Delayed.
going to take like 5 to 8 days to
Yes.
get to you, maybe. So I'm expecting it hopefully by the end of next week, maybe the beginning of the next one. Like,
Wow.
so, and I can't go outside to like go get hay. Like I think
Mhm.
PetSmart shut down all their stores, I think,
Wow.
or something like that. So everybody's like online. So it's, yeah. So like I get it. Like I'm not like gonna ball out and be like, everyone gets all my money. Like, nah. But I'm definitely cognizant of that. But
Okay.
yeah, if I can like help as much as my limits can take me, then yeah, I definitely will. So yeah, but like yeah, you're right. Like anything can change in like the next week. One of our offices shut down, so, like anything is totally possible. I'm fully expecting our office to shut down, but I don't think my work will shut down quite yet.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about that. Because we both work in engineering, but a lot of our stuff is still face to face. There, I mean, things for the most part are done digitally, but the major
Yeah.
aspects of things, apart from like design, is still done face to face, and you still have the construction element. You still have the client
Mhm.
meetings and stuff like that. So I feel like while that's being affected, it makes things a little bit more uneasy, and we
Yeah.
have a lot of projects that are getting put on hold because we can't get them started because they're not going to break ground right now. You know?
Yeah. I yeah, I think like you're saying, like also like industry, because we're in two different industries. So like I'm in telecom, which
Yeah.
is like underground, invisible like stuff.
Yeah,
So like
that's like digital infrastructure. And
yeah.
then I'm in like transportation infrastructure. So
Yeah.
it's a little
So
more tangible, but
yeah, so it really, I mean, they're saying business as usual. I mean, one of our customers ceased operations on our projects. That's why one of our offices shut down.
mhm. Mhm.
So I'm fully expecting for them to do it to our office. But the projects I particularly work on, I can't really say who our customer is, but it sounds like they're still going to be business as usual. So actually, we already mentioned them. Y'all can guess who it is. But they seem like they're going to be business as usual, but we we totally shall see. I have no idea, but yeah. I guess we can like go into like future predictions.
Yeah, we can start to wrap things up here.
Yeah, but
Um so I guess with future predictions, I wanted to talk about future plans. So
mhm.
let's see what you think about the rest of this, let's say, the next month or two, and then the rest of this year. And then if you have anything that you're sort of planning uh that revolves around your predictions.
Yeah, so the next month or two, that's like April, May.
Hmm.
I think we're going to be in the thick of this.
Yes,
Like it's gonna get
agreed.
from like worse to more worse, or as people like to say, worser. So,
Yeah,
so
I can
yeah,
never tell which is the correct way to say that, so I
it's
just don't say it.
more worse. Yeah, worser is not a
I'll
word.
just say it's worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, well, yeah, that works too. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it'll just be more worse than it is. There'll definitely
yeah.
be more deaths. Um, it'll hopefully we'll be getting more testing done and all that stuff, but I do think we're going to be either full shutdown or full lockdown,
Hmm.
like just completely. They're probably just going
Close
to,
quarter and everything.
yeah, like just grounding, like everything's going to, I would
Shit.
like to hope at some point everything just comes to a grinding halt and we can just like get on top of it at some, I don't know, avenue, possibility, something like that. Because that's what's going to need to happen
Yeah.
for things to get better. Because it's just going to get worse if we don't find a way to get on top of it.
Yeah.
So I think with everyone coming, yeah, I feel like within the next few weeks, everybody's going to be coming back from spring break. So shout out to y'all on the beaches,
Trying to
spread,
have fun and
yes,
ignore every fucking body else.
yeah, like and spreading
Man,
stuff around, probably
did you
more
did you
than a
see that?
corona.
Did you see that report where they were interviewing some of those kids on the beach?
Mhm.
I just like, y'all, how you gonna get on the news and be like, if I die, I die, but at least I went to spring break for a fucking week? Like, what? And then there's like these girls sitting at there's one in particular I saw. It was like a bunch of college kids, obviously, but they were interviewing they were interviewing this one chick sitting at a table, and she was like, yeah, we just met these guys in our Airbnb, and we're just gonna chill out and drink and have fun. They're just like people just everywhere, like crossing
Mhm.
behind them and working at the restaurant, and this is like I don't even know. I think it was
Yeah.
South Beach.
And then low key, they wonder why how they got herpes or MRSA
or
or
fucking coronavirus in a
yeah,
few weeks.
corona or hepatitis or whatever. Like, oh, like I don't understand how I got it cuz y'all are nasty. And, like, I get, like, y'all are young and you're supposed to be having the time of your lives and blah, 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 and
But postpone
whatever.
that shit.
But,
Like,
like,
it's not gonna kill you. But
this is
doing this type of
real.
stuff does kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be, like, 5 years, like, "That's crazy. So and so died because they had the coronavirus,
Right.
and because they went to spring break, and that could
And
have been me."
yeah,
Like, yeah.
I think that's the main thing. My prediction for the next couple months is it's gonna hit home for a lot of people very quickly because you're gonna start seeing family members and friends affected. And if
Mhm.
it's not your family members and friends directly, it's gonna be their family and friends.
Yeah.
And so then you're gonna say, "Oh shit, this is real," and that's when everybody's gonna suddenly want to jump on
Mhm.
board and pay the fuck attention.
Yeah. And it's gonna be kinda too late. And it,
Yeah,
like,
it's
it sucks. It really does. And, like, but there's nothing we can do about it.
yeah.
There really isn't. We're just gonna have to watch and wait, and yeah, it sucks. But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But
So with that, do you have any plans for later this year? Or
so I don't think this is like, I think like you said, like way in the beginning. God, it's like an hour 24. But like way in the beginning, you're talking about how like this might not be over until like the end of the summer.
oh yeah, I never finished my points on that, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
But my birthday's in the beginning of the summer.
Yes.
So I guess I'm not doing anything. But
Well, yeah.
yeah. So but yeah, so I do have a trip in October, international.
Where are you gonna go?
So Peru.
Shit.
I'm supposed to be going to Peru, but we shall see about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know. I like to think that like you, like in the end of summer, beginning of fall, that this will be somewhat over. Or we'll
Oh,
be
I'm not
heading
saying
to
it's
like
gonna be over. That's not what I said at all.
really?
I said it's gonna take up until the end of summer for us to like figure this shit out.
Mm.
And even if they came up with a vaccine this week, it would still take a few months for that to be fully vetted before they could, do their thing with it.
Oh.
Yeah. This is a long haul thing.
Oh.
It's too late for it to be a short-term thing. It's way too late for that.
That's
I see
true.
this stretching through the end of the year, but I see, July, August timeline where things finally hit that peak where it's like, okay, it's not going to get any worse from here. Now we're,
Mm.
things
Starting
are
to
recovering.
actually like flatten the
Yeah,
curve.
I mean, think about the economy, how long it's going to be before the US economy in particular
It's gonna take
takes to
like
bounce back,
a
right?
couple years to bounce back. Yeah.
Yes. So that's
Mm.
why I'm like, we had our trip planned for May. It was going to be a birthday trip and also our
Mhm.
anniversary trip.
Yeah.
I've been spending every other day trying to get a refund on our tickets because I
Mhm.
spent $1,700 on tickets to go to Japan, and
Shit.
it's just yeah so our money's tied up in that. And we were like, okay, initially when all this happened, because we booked the tickets in January initially, in like mid-February, when we realized how serious this was and things started
Yeah.
closing down, especially in Asia. We were like, okay, well, maybe we can just postpone this till October or like New Year's or something. Nope, not happening. No
Yeah.
way. I'm not. It's just not worth it to
Yeah.
do that, and then still not know until you get up to that point, right?
Yeah.
So for me, those are that's my prediction is things aren't gonna wind down really until the end of the year. Hopefully sooner, of course.
Hmm.
But that's just what
Yeah.
I think because there's still too many people that don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was on the phone with the DHL guy because I got a package from China and they were trying to deliver it and I kept having issues, so I had to call customer service. This dude ranted at me for 6 fucking minutes about how if the virus gets him, it gets him, and he doesn't really care. He doesn't see the freak out about why people freaking out, blah blah blah. I'm gonna do my thing. This like old boomer dude from Arizona. I'm just like, see,
Uh,
it's like there's people in these states that still don't give a shit.
Also,
Still,
like, Keep
And then
your
they
opinions.
laugh at the states that are struggling.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't find bread anymore. It's like
Yeah, it must be nice
I
to be a
can't.
flyover state, whatever. God.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I mean,
that is
I have
so
nothing against
messed
Arizona. I'm
up.
just like, but there's
But
still a
still,
heavy
yeah.
concentration of people who just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And those are the people who are still going out doing their own thing, still trying to book vacations,
Yeah, that's so
still
real.
all this other stuff. And then they wonder what happened when they got sick or when their
Mhm.
family members get sick, right?
Yeah.
Or when they can't do, their festival gets closed down because of this. They're
Mhm.
not, they want to pout and stuff. It's just,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So yeah, with the future plans, we have no future plans as far as travel, but I do want to take this time, and this was something I spoke to my brother about for a while yesterday. We both want to take this time to really bump up our skills, our personal skills and technical skills. So I'm going to try to get some certs. I'm looking at like Salesforce stuff right now because I need to do some of that for work. But if I can pick up a Salesforce cert, in the next couple months, that would be awesome. If I
Mhm.
could, maybe learn some coding or start learning another language. Like my partner speaks Lithuanian pretty fluently, and so we've always been talking about teaching me, but we just haven't really felt like we've had the time. But maybe now is a good time.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Like I just want to work on like personal development stuff, and then also like I have a business that I've been hoping to start. Obviously right now it's not the best time to start a business, but
Yeah.
just trying to get all the ducks in a row so that when
Mhm.
things do start to recover, I can press go and get moving with that. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've been thinking about. But we really don't know what's going to happen a week, let alone a month from now. And
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is people try to stay calm and try to just be logical about what's happening and do their best to play their part.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. That, like, yeah, you, like, put a lot of things into perspective, especially, like, the timeline stuff.
Hmm.
I do think I'm gonna give it another month to see, like, where everything is,
Okay.
because like, I was supposed to make a payment for my trip this month,
Yeah.
but I put it off
Yeah.
until next month, and they were told the travel agency was totally fine with it.
Hmm.
That was the only, like, hard travel plans that I had for the rest of this year.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting because I had a lot of ideas of where I wanted to go this year, but
Me
I
too.
only made like 2 or 3 commitments.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting, and but I was like just thinking like why for some reason my body wasn't letting me try to make a hard commitment to more trips, and I was trying to figure out why. And
I would say that, but also I think it's mainly because we haven't really been in this position of having financial stability to the point where we could say, I'm going to book this trip. I'm secure enough in my job
you're
and my
right.
finances
Yeah.
to plan a trip 6 months out and know that that's going to work out.
Mhm.
So me booking in January for a thing in May was totally brand new to me. And of course it didn't fucking work out. Usually I buy my tickets like a week or two in advance because I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And everything works out. But in this case, I try to be as proactive as possible and it
Yeah.
still didn't fucking work out. So I think maybe you're not considering the fact that it just wasn't really
Yeah.
feasible until this point. But now
Mhm.
we have to wait even longer because of all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
that's some
So,
first world problems shit now.
yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to give it another month and see like
Hmm.
where everything is, and if I'm kind of like if I if it's not improving, I think I'm just gonna cancel and just sit my ass down for like the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
And like and that's fine. Like if anything, hopefully when more of this is kind of died down, hopefully before the end of the year, I'll just go visit my family in New York. That'll be enough for me. And
Hmm.
I think I might do something local for my birthday. But yeah, so yeah, that put a lot of yeah, what you said put a lot of stuff into perspective. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I yeah, I agree. I think going back to like I guess in what people can be doing in this time, especially with a lot of time off and with a lot of like, working from home and stuff like that. I agree, like self-development this is a great time to be doing that, but also don't beat yourself up for not wanting or having the ability or the mindset to do that,
Mm-hmm.
because I also am doing that as well, but I'm taking my time because I know, like, with my anxiety of like everything that's going on, like it's been really hard for me to want to self-develop because I don't want to think about anything all the time,
Yeah.
and thinking about like developing myself gives me even more anxiety. So it's just like, so I think like also like that is good, but also don't push yourself to do that if you feel like that is something that you don't want to do right now. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
100% okay as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
This can be
If
just a time for
to
you,
reset
yeah, to reset, because we,
or regroup more
yeah,
more
and
because reset probably involves some effort, but regroup really means like
mhm,
just let things catch up, let your emotions catch up,
yeah,
your anxieties and stuff catch up, and just find a way to get through them.
yeah, and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to put, yeah, I don't want to have anyone be feeling like, oh, like everyone's being like, because there's a lot of people out there who are like, yeah, now is the time to do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 and whatever on their like high horses. And I'm like, not everyone has the mental
Yeah,
capacity to like do that right now. And not everyone has the resources to do that right now.
exactly.
So instead of being like, oh, like, it's that goddamn capitalist mindset of just like, oh, use your time wisely or whatever the hell that means. Like, use your time the whatever way you want to use it. If you want to use it to buy a bunch of plants, go do that. If you want to use it to buy all the ice cream in the world and liquor in the world, and well, maybe not liquor, but maybe, like, ice cream and
Too late.
stuff. Like, then do that. Do things that like make you comfortable and make you like enjoy the time that you
Yeah,
have right now,
it's
because
like that
that's
Huga.
more important. Yeah, like yeah,
Yeah,
that thing.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
just try to invest more in yourself and the stuff that you enjoy, right?
Yeah. So,
If you're like, oh fuck yeah, I got enough free time, I can finally watch all Nick Cage movies, then you
mhm.
fucking do that,
Do
right?
that. I mean, I judge you slightly, but
Don't let that be the only thing you do. Is
yeah.
just watch a marathon of like 30, 40 fucking Nick Cage movies.
Yeah,
But
I mean, but also if that is all that you do, like, I think that's okay. I just think that don't beat yourself up for it,
yeah,
because
don't be
that's
hard on yourself
even,
if you're not accomplishing
yeah.
stuff that people are like, I'm starting my yoga journey today. I'm
Yeah,
starting
like, oh,
my
start a YouTube
fucking whatever.
channel, start da
Yeah,
da da da
no.
da. It's just like no.
Whatever.
Like, just live your life. Don't live it for
Just try
other
to
people.
like
Yeah.
get back to being you because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have been stressed lately
Mhm.
about different things, and this is kind of giving people a lot of time to reflect, I think. And
Mhm.
now this was another thing I was talking to my brother about, and this will be my last point before you wrap up.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my brother, and this is like the capitalism thing you were also mentioning, and I was like, because he's kind of between jobs, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to focus on. He's got a lot of like long term goals that will really be dependent on what he does in the next couple of years. So I'm like, while you're not working, but you're studying, he's doing a degree program. Like while you're doing that, like there's so many other people that are in your exact position. They're either not working right now or they're at home and they've got more time to think and reflect on stuff, and they're probably in the same boat where they're reconsidering their career choices or what they're studying or something like that,
Mhm.
because now you have the time and like the mental energy to even do so.
Mhm.
So, I would say like don't beat yourself up if you're not really sure what you're doing, because right now you have a lot of time to reflect on that stuff. Because
Yeah.
this, if anything, this is put for the people who are paying attention, this is putting a lot of shit into perspective.
Yep.
Like, is this job really worth it? I'm working at this
Mhm.
fucking I'm like people working at fucking GameStop. GameStop tried to make themselves an essential company so they could stay operational. So they had their workers still, they had employees up until maybe yesterday, where they officially closed all the stores, and they probably won't even reopen because they're so close to shutting down. Like they're just
Yeah.
gonna, you know, they're they try to make all their employees work. So it's like, I'm sure there's so many of those employees who are sitting at home like, I just fucking wasted 2 years working at that company and didn't give a fucking shit
Yeah.
about me. You know, what can I do to change that so I never have to do that again, right?
Yeah.
Or I just went from working 80 hours a week to working 40 again, and I feel like I have all this time now.
Yeah.
What do I do to make sure I never have to work that much overtime again?
Mhm.
You know, it's like stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
I do think we're gonna go ahead and skip our "What's Got You Hot" because I feel like this whole episode is a "What's Got You Hot."
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just something that it's so on everybody's minds right now. Even
Yeah.
if you care about it or not, you're still at least seeing and reading about it and hearing about it
Yeah.
constantly. So I think it would be really important for us to keep talking about these things over the next
Yeah.
couple months. So we're gonna try our best to get this up as quickly as possible, one, and then two, record together again
Mhm.
for our next episode as soon as possible. But I guess just to close it out, we want to thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you again in the next episode.
Yeah, bye guys. Drink water, hydrate.
Wash your fucking
hands. God damn it.
I'm gonna have to turn the volume down. That's so low.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Everyone.